Today we're plunging into the unprecedented excursion of live alone, live completely, an undertaking loaded up with self-revelation, strengthening, and significant development. So snatch a comfortable spot, and we should set out on this enhancing investigation together. Have you at any point pondered what being separated from everyone else can show us? Residing without help from anyone else can transform us incredibly, and perhaps Buddha's old lessons can assist us with finding bliss and development. When we're on our own, these inquiries take us on an extraordinary excursion. It's not just about being distant from everyone else, it's tied in with tracking down new things about ourselves. When life hushes up in the present occupied world, residing alone could appear to be frightening. At first, we could miss having individuals around, and all the clamor they bring, yet there's something pleasant hanging tight for us in the tranquil residing alone. Allows us an opportunity to find out about ourselves, to develop, and to see life another way. This excursion isn't tied in with having a desolate, it's outlook on partaking in the harmony, getting to realize ourselves better, and being cheerful without help from anyone else. Yet where do we start? How might we make a calm room a position of harmony and fun? Buddha, a ruler who found joy in being separated from everyone else, left us a few supportive thoughts. His lessons tell us the best way to be valiant when we're terrified, how to reside at the time, and how to find delight in knowing our mythical people and our reality better. In this video, we'll figure out how to appreciate doing things alone, discover a sense of reconciliation when life changes, and see the magnificence in straightforward minutes. I welcome you to accompany us on this experience of residing alone. It's not just about being separated from everyone else, it's tied in with developing, recuperating, and tracking down satisfaction inside ourselves. And remember to like and buy into our YouTube feed. Your help assists us with sharing more stories and thoughts like this with you. Stay close by in light of the fact that this excursion into being distant from everyone else is the beginning of finding a more extravagant, more brilliant existence with a little assistance from Buddha's quiet insight. First, embracing the test, beginning to reside alone, can want to step into a major calm space. Interestingly, the quietness could appear to be overpowering and a peace terrifying. We could think about how to cause this tranquil space to feel like home and how to be good with our viewpoints for organization. Yet making this stride is the start of an exceptional excursion. This excursion is tied in with embracing the calm, not keeping away from it. Consider the quiet, a clear page brimming with potential chances to make something wonderful. It's a space where we can genuinely pay attention to ourselves and find who we are, the point at which we're separated from everyone else. Buddha discussed finding balance in life, not a lot of a certain something or excessively bit of another. Residing alone shows us this equilibrium. There's really no need to focus on being desolate or filling each second to get away from the quietness. It's tied in with discovering a sense of reconciliation in our alone time, gaining from it, and continuously filling it with things that make a difference to us. On this excursion, we become our own dearest companions. We figure out how to be okay with our viewpoints, track down joy inside ourselves, and appreciate our own conversation. We start by laying out objectives for our alone time, residing at the time, and rehearsing care. Being distant from everyone else likewise shows us confidence, making little strides towards getting things done all alone, and finding joy in our isolation. Making a day-to-day schedule gives our days design and significance, like a companion staying with us as we become acclimated to being distant from everyone else. We figure out how to deal with ourselves genuinely as well as in a profound sense, and sincerely being benevolent and patient with ourselves becomes significant understanding that being separated from everyone else doesn't need to mean inclination forlorn. In the calm of our alone time, we get an opportunity to get to realize ourselves better. Reflection, a vital piece of Buddha's lessons, assists us with glimpsing inside, noticing our contemplations and sentiments without judgment. This excursion of residing alone isn't just turning around fears, it's tied in with developing as a result of them. Buddha saw as profound comprehension, while alone appearance us that isolation can prompt delightful development. As we become more okay with the quiet, we find our inward strength. This strength comes from discovering a sense of harmony inside ourselves, finding joy in our own organization. And legitimately residing alone isn't a test to conquer, it's an excursion to partake in. It's a chance to fabricate areas of strength for and of mindfulness, taking care of oneself and self-esteem that enhances each part of daily routine. Assuming the test of experiencing alone is the start of a significant excursion of self-disclosure. It trains us to find quiet in isolation, strength peacefully, and joy in our own organization. Enlivened by Buddha's insight, this excursion shows us that the difficulties of residing alone are not obstructions, but rather open doors for development, learning, and finding a more profound joy. Second, defying depression. Residing alone some of the time implies we encounter dejection, an inclination a large portion of us know about, yet inside depression there's an opportunity to find out about ourselves and how we interface with others. As opposed to attempting to try not to feel forlorn, we can comprehend and acknowledge it as a typical piece of life. As a matter of fact, forlornness can carry us nearer to other people and to our internal identities. We as a whole encounter dejection eventually, and realizing this can be consoling. It advises us that feeling forlorn doesn't mean we're separated from everyone else. By the way we feel, viewing depression as something divided between everybody assists us with feeling associated in any event. When we're without anyone else, like an update, we are in general looking for fellowship and love, which is totally typical. Buddha instructed us that everything, including our sentiments, changes after some time on the off chance that we consider forlornness like mists going through the sky. We learn not to clutch it too firmly. This thought urges us to be patient and kind to ourselves when we feel desolate, realizing that these sentiments will ultimately pass, very much like all the other things does. When we ponder, we figure out how to sit with our dejection without attempting to drive it away. Rather, we notice it, gain from it, and discover a sense of harmony with its presence. This can change depression from an excruciating encounter into a significant aid that assists us with understanding ourselves better and why we long to interface with others. An extraordinary kind of reflection called metta, or cherishing graciousness. Reflection starts with being benevolent to ourselves, particularly when we feel forlorn. Then it stretches out this generosity to others. This training advises us that all of us are interconnected in any event. When we feel alone, tracking down a local area, or sangha as Buddha called it, is critical these days. This local area can incorporate internet-based companions who offer help and a feeling of having a place. Realizing we're essential for a gathering can ease up the weight of depression and console us that we're in good company. Taking part in innovative exercises like composing, drawing, or creating music can likewise assist us with adapting to forlornness. Communicating our sentiments through craftsmanship can interface us with other people who might be encountering comparative feelings in calm minutes. We can figure out how to value being without help from anyone else. There's a special feeling of harmony at these times that is elusive in the midst of life's hecticness. This harmony can act as a wellspring of solidarity and solace building, and extending kinships can likewise mitigate forlornness. There's really no need to focus on the amount of companions, yet the nature of our associations, a couple of dear companions, can have a tremendous effect by the way we feel. Buddha's own process instructs us that confronting and understanding forlornness can prompt significant disclosures about ourselves and our spot on the planet. His lessons urge us to see forlornness as a component of our excursion toward harmony and joy. Confronting depression is an individual excursion that shows us the changing idea of our sentiments, the significance of fellowships and local area, and how to be benevolent to ourselves by embracing our depression. We free ourselves up to more profound associations with others and ourselves. Depression, like all the other things in life, is there to show us, helping us live more affectionately and associated. And in the event that you're finding this impacts you, remember to like and buy in. Third, the specialty of independence, figuring out how to reside all alone resembles leaving on a stupendous experience. It's tied in with dealing with ourselves while finding our solidarity and autonomy. This excursion isn't just about the day-to-day errands, it's tied in with tracking down ways of making our lives satisfying and happy, all while remaining associated with our general surroundings. Toward the start of residing alone, we get familiar with the nuts and bolts, cooking, cleaning, and dealing with our funds. These assignments might appear to be straightforward, yet they show us obligation and taking care of oneself. Every feast we cook or bill we pay is a stage toward turning out to be more independent. Dealing with our cash shrewdly is pivotal for covering bills as well as for pursuing decisions that benefit ourselves as well as other people, as Buddha showed about procuring and residing in a sort and fair way. Cooking for ourselves is one more method for embracing freedom. It's not just about fulfilling our craving, it's tied in with sustaining ourselves, partaking in our dinners, and being thankful for the food we have. Each fixing we pick and each dish we get ready is a chance to be available and find joy in the straightforward things. Having a day-to-day schedule is useful too. There's no need to focus on unbendingly booking consistently, yet having an adaptable arrangement that assists us with adjusting work, rest, and fun. This equilibrium keeps us solid and content. As we become more free, we might investigate new leisure activities or master new abilities. This isn't just about keeping occupied, it's about self-improvement, self-revelation, and building certainty anyway. Autonomy additionally implies knowing when to request assist. It's good with contacting others for counsel, backing, or friendship. Genuine autonomy is tied in with tracking down a harmony between doing things ourselves and being essential for a local area, as Buddha showed about finding the center way in life, dealing with ourselves. Envelopes something beyond actual well-being. It incorporates mental and close-to-home prosperity, as well as considering our effect on the world. Residing alone prompts us to be aware of our decisions and their consequences for the climate, cultivating appreciation for the basic things and empowering thoughtfulness and liberality towards others. At last, figuring out how to be independent is tied in with making a cheerful and satisfying life where we feel solid, free, and associated with the world. This lifestyle, motivated by Buddha's lessons, advises us that freedom prompts veritable satisfaction and harmony. Fourth, finding inward harmony, finding internal harmony while residing alone, resembles leaving on a tranquil excursion inside ourselves. It's tied in with changing calm minutes into our own tranquil safe haven, where we can feel quiet and content, paying little heed to outside conditions. The initial step is understanding that harmony comes from how we answer things, not from changing our environmental elements. Residing alone offers an extraordinary chance to rehearse this. We figure out how to see the value in the calm, to be okay with our own organization, and to involve this time for Self-improvement and serenity contemplation assumes a sign critical part in discovering a sense of reconciliation. It resembles enjoying some time off to just inhale and be available. We're doing whatever it takes not to tackle each issue. We're noticing our considerations like passing mists overhead. This training helps us feel consistent and quiet in the midst of life's progressions. Being careful or completely present in the thing we're doing is one more method for developing harmony, whether it's eating, strolling, or cleaning. Zeroing in on the current second permits us to find euphoria in the seemingly insignificant details and experience a feeling of harmony over the course of the day. Establishing a quiet climate at home is useful too. When our space is quiet and coordinated, it's simpler, as far as we're concerned, to feel quiet. Inside this could include keeping things clean, adding plants, or assigning a tranquil spot for unwinding. Figuring out how to embrace our own decisions without stressing over others' suppositions is a fundamental for harmony. Residing alone empowers us to stand by, listening to our own longings, and pursue choices that line up with our actual selves. Tolerating the certainty of progress is additionally vital for keeping up with internal quiet. Life has its highs and lows, yet understanding that change is a characteristic piece of presence permits us to keep up with harmony. Paying little mind to conditions, investing energy in nature is a strong method for having harmony. A stroll in the park, sitting by the water, or looking at the sky can help us to remember the serenity and magnificence on the planet, encouraging a feeling of association and quiet. Laying out a day-to-day schedule that incorporates time for rest and exercises we appreciate is significant for inward harmony. It's really not necessary to focus on steady business, yet finding an equilibrium that incorporates snapshots of calm, unwinding, participating in profound practices. For example, reflection, petition, or perusing moving books can extend our feeling of harmony. These practices assist us with finding importance associate with an option that could be bigger than ourselves and keep a feeling of quiet in the midst of life's difficulties. At last, discovering a sense of reconciliation is a continuous excursion. It's about persistently endeavoring to be serene, learn, and develop. Every day presents a chance to extend how we might interpret ourselves and develop internal serenity. Finding inward harmony while residing alone is tied in with making our single time a way to self-understanding and serenity. It's an undertaking directed by the quiet lessons of Buddha, advising us that genuine harmony dwells inside us, fit to be gotten to and sustained consistently. Fifth, development through variation, adjusting to live, residing without anyone else resembles, leaving on an undertaking where we figure out how to explore life's exciting bends in the road, developing further with each challenge we face. At first, venturing into this new world might appear to be overwhelming as it's loaded up with changes. Anyway, it's these very changes that give us chances to find our internal strength. Each challenge we experience while residing alone is an opportunity for self-awareness. It resembles practicing a muscle. The more we face and defeat difficulties, the more grounded we become. Embracing that life is continuously changing permits us to discover an authentic sense of harmony, a peace tracked down in moving through the downpour, as opposed to trusting that the tempest will pass. Versatility, or the capacity to change and find bliss in the midst of progress, is a pivotal part of developing. Like a tree bowing in the breeze, we figure out how to remain adaptable and keep up with our equilibrium regardless of what life tosses our direction. Each new expertise or leisure activity we get improves our regular routines and exhibits our ability for development. Knowing when to look for help is additionally significant. Freedom doesn't mean doing all that by itself. It implies being savvy to the point of contacting companions, family, or experts while required remaining associated with others in any event. When genuinely alone gives us support and helps us that we're part to remember a bigger local area, taking great consideration of ourselves, body, brain, and soul is fundamental during this change period. Similarly, as a plant needs water and daylight to flourish, we want to feed ourselves to develop, pondering profoundly our cravings, objectives, and desires can prompt huge self-awareness and change, transformation, and development. Our continuous excursions consistently presents new chances to learn, develop, and find qualities we didn't realize we had. Figuring out how to conform to residing alone shows us flexibility, balance, and the significance of non-stop development. This excursion of transformation and flourishing shows that each challenge carries with it a potential chance to study ourselves and our association with the world. As we explore the progressions of life, we become more grounded, stronger, and all the more profoundly associated with our general surroundings. Sixth, sustaining social associations. Residing all alone doesn't need to mean inclination. Desolate truth be told, it tends to be a chance to reinforce existing fellowships and fashion new associations. Everything, no doubt, revolves around connecting, making significant associations, and partaking in the feeling of local area. When we live alone, we frequently wind up connecting with companions all the more habitually, or making arrangements to invest time with them. This assists us with keeping in contact, as well as helps us to remember the delight of having loved ones in our lives, developing a steady organization of loved ones who cause us to have a good sense of reassurance, and included is urgent. Thus we offer similar help and incorporation to them, cultivating a feeling of having a place. Joining clubs or gatherings that line up with our inclinations is one more charming method for extending our group of friends, whether it's a book club or a neighborhood sports group. Being essential for a gathering permits us to associate with similar people, prompting new kinships and shared encounters. Using innovation, for example, video visits, virtual entertainment, and informing stages assists us with remaining associated, especially with loved ones who might be far away. Welcoming companions over for supper or relaxed home bases is a wonderful signal that shows our appreciation for themselves and reinforces our securities. Undivided attention is fundamental in supporting companionships. Focusing on and thinking often about what our companions share reinforces our associations and shows that we esteem them. Chipping in for purposes we care about not just acquaints us with new individuals who share our interests, yet additionally encourages a feeling of local area and satisfaction. Staying open to making new companions adds fervor and variety to our lives. While we may as of now have dear companions, meeting new individuals can acquaint us with new thoughts and exercises. Tracking down the right harmony between investing time alone and with others is critical to keeping up with our general prosperity and joy. Dealing with our fellowships requires continuous exertion and consideration. Similarly, as plants need water and daylight to flourish, our kinships need time, presence, and appreciation to develop. Staying in contact with existing associations and effectively looking for new ones improves our lives and improves our feeling of having a place and joy, whether it's reconnecting with lifelong companions, investigating new gatherings, or basically being available to meeting new individuals. Each work we make to remain associated adds to a more extravagant, seriously satisfying daily routine. Seventh, embracing individual flexibility. Experiencing without anyone else offers an exceptional sort of opportunity, offering us the chance to investigate what our identity, and gives us joy. It resembles having the keys to our own existence, where we can go with decisions, attempt new things, and fill in manners we might not have envisioned before. First and foremost, residing alone permits us to get to realize ourselves better. We have the independence to choose what to eat, what to watch, and how to invest our time without the impact of others. This assists us with grasping our inclinations and aversions, permitting us to genuinely realize ourselves. Investigating new leisure activities or exercises turns into a thrilling chance. While residing alone, whether it's painting, figuring out how to play guitar, or having a go at something else, these pursuits bring pleasure, as well as assist us with getting more familiar with ourselves and add fervor to our lives. Setting our own timetables is one more advantage of residing alone. We have the opportunity to choose when to go out, when to remain in, and how to structure our days as per our inclinations. Pursuing our own choices, from overseeing spending plans to tackling issues, imparts a feeling of confidence in our capacities and autonomy. Residing alone likewise engages us to pursue our fantasies and put forth private objectives, whether they're connected with work, individual tasks, or personal growth. We have the independence to seek after our yearnings at our own speed, making our own space customized to our inclinations and style. Is one more part of this opportunity. Our home turns into an impression of who we are, giving a comfortable asylum where everything from stylistic layout to mood is picked by us. Getting a charge out of isolation is one more unique part of residing alone. Investing time with our viewpoints permits us to reflect, dream, and basically be. This peaceful time is priceless. For self-disclosure and understanding the main thing to us, residing alone additionally permits us the space to investigate our qualities and convictions without outside impact, empowering us to reside legitimately as per our standards. Taking consideration of ourselves both genuinely and intellectually is a fundamental. While residing alone, settling on sound decisions, remaining dynamic, and knowing when to look for help. Our approaches to focusing on our prosperity, embracing this opportunity, is a continuous experience of self-disclosure and self-improvement. It's tied in with learning new things about ourselves, embracing change, and partaking in the excursion of carrying on with everyday routine based on our conditions. Eventually experiencing alone and embracing the opportunity it brings is engage influence, and it's tied in with revealing our actual selves and making a day-to-day existence that lines up with who we are. This excursion of opportunity, decision, and self-awareness permits us to carry on with our best resides and find what really satisfies us. Eighth, developing satisfaction. Residing all alone furnishes us with a remarkable chance to encounter genuine joy and fulfillment with our lives. Similarly as they are, it's tied in with tracking down bliss in the brown-nosed little things, offering thanks for what we have, and understanding that joy doesn't generally come from outer sources. Happiness implies finding joy in the little minutes, like that first taste of espresso toward the beginning of the day, or watching the nightfall. It's tied in with valuing the regular endowments and recognizing the beneficial things currently present in our lives. Rehearsing appreciation day to day assists us with perceiving these gifts. Dreading a feeling of happiness inside us, laying out and accomplishing objectives regardless of how little likewise adds to our feeling of satisfaction. It permits us to feel glad for our achievements and energizes an inspirational perspective on life. Figuring out how to be content right now as opposed to continually pursuing future desires is imperative for happiness. Being completely present and partaking in the ongoing second gives a profound feeling of fulfillment. Genuine joy comes from inside ourselves as opposed to outer belongings or accomplishments. Working on our lives by cleaning up, zeroing in on the main thing, and relinquishing superfluous pressure can prompt a more prominent feeling of harmony and satisfaction. Appreciating our own conversation is fundamental for satisfaction, while residing alone, discovering a sense of harmony in isolation, enjoying our leisure activities, and embracing our considerations add to our general joy. While we treasure our alone time, keeping up with close associations with loved ones advances our lives and upgrades our joy. Being sympathetic and delicate with ourselves, particularly during testing times, is urgent for developing satisfaction. Regarding ourselves with thoughtfulness, as we would an old buddy, keeps up with internal harmony and joy. Love, ultimately happiness, is a day-to-day practice, not a one-time accomplishment. Every day offers chances to find delight. Offer thanks and value the magnificence in our day-to-day routines. Experiencing alone presents an exceptional opportunity to find significant joy and fulfillment inside ourselves, at last prompting a more happy approach to everyday life. By zeroing in on the current second, offering thanks, and working on our lives, we can encounter profound happiness and satisfaction. This excursion towards happiness upgrades our day-to-day routines as well as prompts a more significant and euphoric presence. 10th, otherworldly investigation and illumination. Residing alone gives us a serene space to contemplate life's more profound inquiries, like our convictions and our association with the world. It's a chance for self-improvement and profound investigation, permitting us to feel more on top of the immense universe. During this time, we have the opportunity to investigate different techniques for discovering a true sense of harmony and understanding. Whether it's through reflection, finding out about various otherworldly customs, or essentially reflecting discreetly, we can find what resounds with our soul's contemplation. Assumes a huge part in this excursion, assisting us with associating with our internal mythical people and our general surroundings. By clearing our psyches and rehearsing care, we can encounter more noteworthy quietness and gain new bits of knowledge, making a committed space in our home for examination and otherworldly practices can improve our association with the heavenly. This consecrated space fills in as a safe haven where we can concentration and find comfort. Investigating profound writing and lessons opens us to an abundance of shrewdness and extends how we might interpret the universe. Nature likewise fills in as a significant educator, moving wonderment and encouraging a profound feeling of association with all residing creatures. Drawing in with others on comparable profound ways can offer help and new viewpoints. Offering thanks for the favors in our lives develops a good mentality and extends our feeling of happiness. Thoughtful gestures and administration to others are necessary to our otherworldly excursion, cultivating a feeling of interconnectedness and sympathy. Seeing this excursion as a continuous practice permits us to constantly develop and advance, enhancing our lives with newly discovered euphoria and experiences. Investigating our otherworldliness while residing alone is a groundbreaking encounter that permits us to dig into our convictions and associate all the more profoundly with the world through reflection, care, and commitment with nature and others. We set out on a significant experience that advances our lives in endless ways. 10th, accomplishing autonomy and strengthening. Residing all alone resembles setting out on a terrific experience where we figure out how to depend on ourselves and assume responsibility for our lives, and it has an astonishing its outlook on finding our inward strength and going with choices. Certainly residing alone trains us taking care of oneself abilities, from cooking to fixing things around the house. We first and foremost. Become the chiefs of our own boats, exploring life as per our own guidelines. Dealing with our funds shrewdly is pivotal to arranging our costs, and setting aside gives us the opportunity to pursue decisions. Keeping our residing space slick and coordinated is one more part of freedom. Whether it's cleaning or enlivening, dealing with our home imparts a feeling of obligation and pride. Pursuing choices autonomously is enabling, from ordinary decisions like dinners to significant life designs. Every choice lifts our certainty and independence. Defining objectives adds energy to our process. Seeking after our interests and accomplishing our objectives fills us with a feeling of achievement. Residing alone permits us to investigate our inclinations without outside impact. We find what genuinely gives us pleasure and seek after it, earnestly figuring out how to handle difficulties. Freely constructs our critical thinking abilities and confidence. Getting a charge out of isolation is important too. We understand that being separated from everyone else doesn't liken to depression. It's a period for reflection and unwinding. In any case, keeping up with associations with loved ones offer help and friendship. Developing into our reliance is a continuous cycle. Consistently, we become more confident and strong. Residing alone isn't just about having our own space, it's tied in with finding our expected, following our fantasies, and feeling enabled to make the existence we need. This excursion shows us that we have all that we really want to flourish. All in all, residing all alone resembles leaving on a great experience where we find a ton of about ourselves. It's a period of figuring out how to find joy in our own organization, going with our own choices, and tracking down bliss in doing things as we would prefer. All through this excursion, we figure out how to deal with ourselves, deal with our funds, and make comfortable spaces to call home. We put forth objectives, seek after our fantasies, and face difficulties with certainty, all while esteeming the help of loved ones. Residing alone trains us to take advantage of our internal strength, become more confident, and value the easily overlooked details in life. Every day presents a chance for development, boldness, and appreciation. It's tied in with being pleased with our achievements and realizing that we can deal with anything that daily routine tosses our direction. At last, experiencing alone is tied in with making a day-to-day existence that gives us harmony, joy, and veritable happiness. And in any event, when we're on our own, we're never genuinely alone. We're associated with the excellence of the world and the adoration for everyone around us.